Hi, my name is Bala Vissa. I'm a professor at Insead in the entrepreneurship area, based out of Singapore, but I keep traveling to France as well. Um, I've been with Insead now for 12 years, and a lot of my research and teaching and practice looks at how to help entrepreneurs develop effective networks, the people side of entrepreneurship, around entrepreneurial leadership. That's really what I focus a lot on.
Professor Bala, what is your perspective of the Indian entrepreneurship ecosystem?
So going back to the people side of entrepreneurship, one of the big challenges I think is in India now we have a healthy funnel of people who want to throw their hat in the ring to try to convert an idea in their head into an up and running business. And I think there's sufficient amount of money as well for very early stage ventures. But as we keep going up further along the entrepreneurial process, when companies grow, one of the big challenges they have is they need to get experienced people who have built in structures and systems in big established organizations. They need to hire them in order to do the same thing for their growing business. So I think there is a little bit of a bottleneck there. In fact, one of the speakers at the Insead event today was talking about how everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, nobody wants to be an early employee.
And for people who are looking to start off on their entrepreneurship journey, what would your advice be in terms of what are the pitfalls that they should look for?
So it's always very important to ask yourself why you're doing it. Okay. So when you're a young person, I'm talking about in the 20s, often we get driven by what other people are telling us to do. So there's an element of social influence there, apart from what is motivating us from within. So if you're someone in the 20s and you're starting a business and becoming an entrepreneur, just ask yourself honestly and answer it honestly, why are you doing it? Is it because you want to look good in front of your friends? It's nice to go to a party and say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. Is that the reason why you're doing it? Or is there something else that is motivating you from inside? So it's very important to understand that. For the mid-career people in the 30s, usually you end up starting a business in a domain where you have a lot of expertise, which is good. On the other hand, one of the challenges is that given your life stage, it's more difficult to take risks. So perhaps joining a fast growing company and then learning the ropes and then doing your own thing, that could be a viable idea as well. So think of entrepreneurship not as a one shot event of starting a business, but look at it as a career, as a journey. So you're working in a big company right now, you're in your mid 30s, you could go and work in a fast growing but small company in a senior position and hone your skills, and then maybe step out and do your own thing. Right? So think of that as an entrepreneurial career rather than a one-shot event of starting a company.
And the last question is, where do you see the entrepreneurship in India growing in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I think the energy has barely been unleashed. So I would see a lot of activity across various domains as the government uh, removes the barriers for new markets to emerge, to get created. I would see an explosion of entrepreneurial activity. I think part of it is linked also to changes in the schooling system. Young people today are not afraid to take risks. They have no problem in failing. It was not like that when I grew up. And so I think the pool of individuals who want to try their hand at something new and risky, that pool is going to grow.
Thank you, Professor.